everyone, it's Sam here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a pop-up birthday cake using my new A Surprise Inside. And this is the lovely birthday cake. How cool does that look? I've already shared the pop-up house and you can find that in the playlist. That'll be coming up in the video and I'll have it linked at the end as well. But keep watching if you want to see how I've made this one. So this is the pop-up cake, so it can be a birthday cake, wedding cake, any cake that you'd like. You've got all of your mats and layers to cover each of the tiers. You've got candles already in there, but you've also got these candles here. You've got your bow, you've got different balloons, you've got little strawberries and little sprigs and stars, and you've got a little topper there as well. 20 dies in that one. And then I'm going to be using the big words again. This one I've used the birthday. And I'm going to have happy birthday at the bottom, and then I've also got the verses here. This one here, cake and booze, what more do you need? Have a fab birthday. That's all going to go towards the bottom. So if you've watched my first one showing you how to make this gorgeous card, which I absolutely adore, it works all the same way in terms of placing it on your card to get it all in the right position and then folding it. I'm going to show you and talk you through all that now. So I've got a piece of A4 card, and what I did is I just, because I've already stuck this down, but I just popped it in my scoreboard, and I've just scored at 5 7/8. If it's A4, that's kind of halfway, but I've just scored just about 1 inch in, and then just flip it over, and again just scored about 1 inch in. You don't want to go right across, otherwise you're going to get the score line going through your design. All they are is guides, because on the sides of the main die here you've got these little bits. You want to line them up with the score line. What that means is that when we put this into the 6x6 card, or it could go into a bigger card if you want, it's going to be in the center. So I've put that on. This is the Craft Stash. Which pink one is this? This is the blushing pink card. I think it's 230 GSM. Now I've just run that through my Big Shot, but if you don't have a big machine, these will go through standard. All you do is just cut it down before you run it through your machine, because I'm going to cut it down in a minute anyway. I just want to show you like this because it's just a bit easier, but we're going to trim this down. So if you trim it first, you could line it up that way as well. There's a few ways to do this. So now just carefully take that off. Okay, so you'll have all these cut lines, and you should be able to see all these little score lines as well. Now if you want to make it a bit easier when you go to fold it, go over those with your scoreboard. You don't need to do like the little ones, but certainly these kind of bigger sections here, it will make it a bit easier. So just kind of move it on your scoreboard until you feel it line up with one of the tracks, and just kind of go over those score lines. It just will make it much easier. You can see they're just much more deeper. If we do the embossed lines too deep with the die, it will actually cut through the card. So now we can start popping it all out. So all of these bottom score lines here, you want them to become valley folds. So just go from behind and just push up each one. All you're doing right now is just starting to get these pieces into the position that they're going to pop up. Okay, so I've just kind of just pushed those bottom ones there. You might find a ruler quite handy. If you pop that through the middle there and lift that up, then you can kind of start already, because you've pushed them down. Can you see how that is all started to come up? So what we can do now is just push that further up like so. So already now we've got our bottom tier. We can burnish that more in a minute. Then you want to go on to your next tier, which is this one here. And again, I always find if you go from the back and just pinch the bottom, just kind of push them like so. There's no like really weak areas, so it should be relatively easy to do. And once you've kind of done a few, maybe try it on some scrap card first so you get a feel for it and how it kind of works. But you can see now already how that one, they all come up pretty quickly. And then that top tier, again, just flip it over and just kind of push down. Like so. There we go. And then just pop those 3 candles out. Okay, and once you've popped everything up like this, fold it all back, and the whole thing will lie flat. And then if you grab your burnishing tool, just go in there and give everything a really good burnish. Be careful, maybe brush down like I'm doing there, just so you don't tear any of them. And now we've got our pop-up cake. So what I'm going to do now is trim down the sides because I want this to go into a 6x6 envelope. This could go into a C6, which is 6x8. It could go into 7x7, 8x8. You could even put this in a top fold. It would just fit, actually, to be fair. If you trimmed it right down to the edge, you could get this into a 5x7 top fold. So I'll definitely play around and do some more samples of different sizes so you get an idea. But I want this to go in my 6x6 card blank. So I'm going to measure it this way. It's a bit easier first. Like I said, you'll trim it beforehand when you get yours probably. I'm just showing you different ways, but I want this to be 5 3/4 in total. So there's 5 3/4. So I just want there to be, what's that there? 1, 2, it's about 3/8 of an inch from this edge here, and then 3/8 of an inch there. So now I can just trim up each side. And then again, I want this to be 5 3/4, so I'm just laying it down there. A couple of other little things that you can do. If you want to mat and layer in here, if you take this die here, and I want to use one of the papers from my new paper pads. This is All Occasions. It's a 6x6 paper pad, and you've got some really sweet designs. I mean, look at the balloons. And I wanted these papers to work away from the dies as well. So if you just want to stick this on the front of a card and have a big happy birthday sentiment, it's done and ready. And I also wanted the fronts of these cards to be really simple because they are designed to be displayed open. So you can just put one of these lovely papers on the front, like I said, a little sentiment, and it's all done. And that's what I did on the front of this one here. Hooray, enjoy your new home. You know, it's all done for you, really easy. But what you can also do is you can make your matte layer. So let me find, so you've got the balloons, you've got the bunting, got the beautiful florals there. That's going to be nice as an aperture card, I think. You've got your stars. Stars would be nice, actually. And then you've got the bunting with the cakes there. Now, I think I'm going to go for this one. I think that's going to go quite nicely. So first of all, I'm going to trim this down to fit within this section here. So I'm going to do 5.5 by 5.5. And I want to get an equal amount on each side. So I'm going to take off 1/4 from this side and then 1/4 from the other side. So that give me 5.5. And then I don't really need to worry about the bottom part. I just want the top. So I can snip that right off. And then I'm going to take this die, and where you've got your markers here, line them up with the bottom. Make sure you got it centered. In fact, I'm going to flip this over. That'll probably be better, and that way you won't see your pencil marks. So just lay that down. You've got an equal amount, and then you're going to draw around it. Like so, and then just cut that out. And you could do the same for the bottom as well. I might do a white matte layer for the bottom so that my sentiment and everything pops, but I think that's going to be a really nice backdrop. So I'm going to get that cut out, and then I'm going to stick that onto the back. And then in the set here, so you can lay it all down flat again and decorate it. Like I said, you've got all the mats and layers. So I've got my bottom tiers here, and I've alternated the colours there of the pinks. So I've gone for a slightly darker colour than the base here, and then I've gone for a darker colour again. So I'm going to have those running along there, and then I've got the middle tier and the top tier. And then you don't have to go as mad. Oh, didn't pop that one out. You don't have to go as mad with the candles, but I have cut a ton of candles for every section on each tier. I'm going to see how it looks first because I may end up changing it. And then the top one, I actually may snip the top of the candles off, which you can do, and then have the bow, which I think is going to look really nice. So I'm going to have a little play around with that. I've also got balloons because I'm going to have some of the balloons there going over the bunting there. And then for the bottom, like I said, I've got my birthday, and then I've taken the happy, which is in the stamp set that comes with it. So you've got all of your family names, but you've also got happy, my, love. So you've got other words there so you can make up the sentiments. So happy birthday, and then there's that little verse that's going to go underneath. So I'm going to get this all stuck down, and then I'll show you how to stick it into the card. So that's everything decorated. Like I said, I have gone over the top of the candles because I like to show the samples. I like to show them like to their max, and then obviously you can take away whatever you want. But I think it looks really cool. Very pleased with this one. So now to stick it into the card blanks, this is a 6x6. I've stuck that lovely paper in its full design on the front there, and then I can just stamp a little sentiment. You could put the person's name, maybe a big birthday number. It's nice to have that space. So to stick them in, I like to use construction glue. So this is the Collall construction glue, so it dries nice and hard. So it's great for your card making and 3D makes. Do one side at a time, and I like to stick them in the card when it's open. That way, you know that it will stand when the recipient gets it. If you just stick both sides in and then lay it all, you know, flat and let it dry, it'll be hard to open basically. So just take one side and just butt the bottom right up, so make sure you've got a nice border there, but get right up to your corner and then stick that on and just spend a minute, so getting it right into the corner there. You can see I've got a nice border on each side, and just make sure it's all stuck down. Once that's dry, flip it over, stick the other side down, and then stick that down, but keep it open. So you'll see it's standing open there. You can see I did the same with this one. It's got quite a bounce when it closes, but it will definitely stay open. Okay, and that's what you want. Okay, so here is the finished card. So again, I will add something to that once I know who I'm giving it to. And then as you open it up, oh, isn't it lovely? And there's quite a weight to it as well, so it does drop down and open up really nicely. I also added glaze over the whole of that die cut there, and it looks like it's been vacuum packed. I've done this before, and I just think it gives such a nice effect. Rather than just going over the white, which I've done in the past, I've just covered the whole piece. And again, I just think it adds another little bit of interest to the card. And there's glaze also on each of the flames on the candle. And the balloons as well, actually. Just realised, yeah, I went a bit mad with that. But there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this wonderful pop-up cake from me today. It can be a platform as well. You know, you don't have to have it as a cake. It could be all in green, and you could have little animals on it as like an Easter scene. You could have it white and it could be penguins like skiing, and have a little winter Christmas scene on there as well. So there's a lot more you can do with this set. So once again, thank you for watching today. All of the products that I've used you can find linked in the description box below this video. There will be a playlist coming up which will have all of the new A Surprise Inside tutorials. Once they all are uploaded, you can find them all under one playlist. Give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed today, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and drop me a comment because I enjoy reading them. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.